joining us today. My name is Joe DiNardo. I'm a marketing specialist here at Blue Fountain Media. And today we're going to walk through advertising with social media. So let's get started. This is a John Wanamaker quote. Half the money I spend on advertising is wasted. The trouble is I don't know which half. And this has been true for the last 80 years. And thanks to social media and the data that's collected, it no longer needs to be the case. So some stats, 27% of all time spent on the internet is now spent on social media sites. 46% of users consult social media before making a purchase, so they're researching companies, looking for opinions, and talking to friends about their experience with brands. So just how many users is that? Facebook is now topping 1.1 billion. Twitter is at 200 million users. LinkedIn has 225 million users. It's a very large network that a lot of people are not aware of its size, and 40% of those users are decision makers. So that means they're business owners, managers, directors, VPs, or C-suite executives. Foursquare now has 33 million users, checking in over 7 million times daily. And StumbleUpon, the content discovery platform, boasts 25 million users and serves up over 1 billion page views a month. And to reach them, we're just spending a ton of money these days. Last year, we spent $7.7 billion. This year, we're projected to spend $10.24 billion. And in 2014, the spend will be nearing $12 billion. And, there's a lot of reasons we're doing that, but mostly because the CPM is cheap. If you look at this chart here, it's just a comparison from January to March of 2013. But the CPM for social is about 1/5 of that for display, and a small fraction of the cost for video CPM. And it's highly effective. Social leads have a 13% higher conversion rate than leads collected through display or video advertising. So now, the problem is, how do you reach these users? There's just so many options that are out there. There's so many different ad types. What do you want to use to most effectively reach these potential customers? So we want to start by defining goals. If it's user-centric, so you want to build a following, you want to generate likes for your page. There's Facebook's promoted page options. Twitter has promoted accounts. If you're looking to increase engagement, there's promoted posts on Twitter. There's promoted posts on Facebook. There's also sponsored stories, and we'll take a look at those a little later. And then there's destination-centric. So you might want to drive traffic to a website. You can do that with traditional Facebook ads. You can do that with promoted posts on Twitter. And then there's also LinkedIn advertising, which are fairly traditional types of display ads. There's StumbleUpon paid discovery, which is a way to get a sponsored website into a user's Stumble feed. So as they click Stumble and go from one website to the next, your website can be inserted into that progression. There's also Facebook offers. So if you're, an e-commerce site, it's a great way to drive sales. It creates a coupon that people can share on Facebook within the Facebook network, and you can then use their ad platform to promote that coupon rather than, creating it yourself and hoping that people start sharing it, just off of your page. And, social does give you the opportunity, if you have a brick and mortar, to drive foot traffic into, real-world locations. Foursquare has specials. You can, create these for first-time visitors, long-time visitors, so every 5th check-in, you give them a special deal, 10%, 20% off. It's completely, up to you as the business owner. what you're creating. If you can have referral check-in specials, so if their friends have been there and then they go there, you can give their friends or the user at the time, a discount or a deal, and those are, completely free to set up. It doesn't cost you anything other than the special that you're providing. Foursquare also offers paid promoted locations. So if users are checking in or open the Foursquare app and your business location is in the general vicinity, they'll be notified with a promoted location of, this place is popular on Foursquare. And, you have the opportunity to then capture their attention by offering a special to those people and, maybe get them to come into your business or restaurant or whatever, rather than another one in their location. Facebook also offers, events. I'm sure everybody's gotten event invites from somebody. There you can actually go and promote those. So notifications are pushed. Friends of friends are seeing these. They display in the user's news feed as, something they might want to check out. So after we define our goals, it's important to define the audience. So there's a host of targeting tools for every social network, and Twitter uses targeting based on either location, gender, broad interest categories. Here we have sports, climbing, travel, camping, and we can also target users who have the same interests as those who follow other accounts. So as you define influencers in your space, using their followers to generate, your audience is an excellent way to do some basic Twitter targeting. Facebook, their basic targeting, offers, a host of options here. We can go location, age, gender. There's precise interests, so people who have liked a specific page or activity, as well as broad categories. So that's based on their behavior on Facebook, posts or posts they're liking, pages they're visiting. We can put that together, and it kind of gives you an idea of what this person is about. LinkedIn actually offers terrific amounts of targeting for the B2B businesses out there. If you need to only target decision makers, if you want to only target people who work in specific categories within companies, you can also target down to actual company. So if you have a specific target in mind and specific information for them, where you'd like that to be pushed, you can target all of the people in the accounting department of Hewlett Packard if you'd like to, or everybody in the marketing department at Yahoo. And then obviously it's important to track the results. So you want to make sure that your ads are performing, that your click-through rates are where you'd like them to be, where your cost per engagement is in line with any budget projections that you may have made, and that's completely up to the goal of the campaign. So if you're trying to build engagement, then likes and comments on Facebook posts may be more important than page likes, and the same applies in the reverse. If you're trying to build your audience, you might not be looking for particularly a lot of comments on posts that you're promoting, but it's more important to drive them back to the actual page and generate new likes. And then, obviously, because this is social, it's incredibly flexible. You can make real-time changes to all of your ads. There's no need to create all these new creative. It's not like display advertising where you're building these banner ads and you need to send it back before you can make any changes to copy. Pricing, as these campaigns progress, you can change your daily spend. on a minute-to-minute basis if you'd like. If you see an ad performing very well, you can increase the spend and get it pushed out to a broader audience. If you see an ad that's performing poorly, you can pause it immediately, so it's not sucking up more of your budget than it should be. Obviously, A/B testing is super easy in social, especially with the imagery. So if you're promoting posts or pages, changing out those thumbnail images that are presented is something that's very easy to do, to create, several different versions of it to see which performs best with which audience. So now just diving a little deeper into each of these platforms. We're going to take a look at Facebook first. It's the biggest network. It's where everybody is. And they offer, some terrific advanced advertising tools. One is called Power Editor. It's a plugin for Google's Chrome browser, which gives you much more flexibility when it comes to ad creation. It allows you to generate over 20 different ad types. Some of them are, this is a sponsored offer. This is just a general newsfeed only promoted page. You also have sponsored stories that you can create in this. So here, Nelson in the heaters is telling me, these are my friends who like this page. You should like it too. This gives the brand a little more authority rather than just promoting their page to me generally. I've now built a personal connection with them based on people I'm already friends with. And then you have over here you can see the Salesforce sponsored post. This comes up because I've connected to either Salesforce and they're making sure that this is reaching their audience, or because I have friends or interests aligned with their targeting. So in addition to that kind of flexibility in ad creation, Facebook now offers partner categories, which allows you to hyper-target based on lifestyle information that's collected by third-party sources. So when you go into a store and you're making purchases or you're filling out forms, they're now selling that information to Facebook, who makes it available to advertisers. And I mean, it's fairly detailed information. You're able to target people based on their job role, their spending habits, how much money exists in savings and checking accounts, their exact hobbies based on purchases, what stores they're buying things in, what types of cars they're purchasing, when they've made purchase intent available. So you can target, if you're Mercedes, for instance, you can target people who own a BMW but have indicated that they are in the market for a new car in the next 6 to 12 months. So it really allows you to reach your ideal audience. Here's a couple examples that we used. One that's targeting people who are into outdoor sports, but also luxury travel and high-level food. So like foodies, people who are going on vacation several times a year and also spending a significant amount of money. And Facebook obviously allows you great options to track your results. When you drill down, you can make it a little more specific. It also allows you to define exactly where these ads are being placed. If you don't want your ads to be placed in the right rail, which generates a little bit of a smaller ad, it's a little less intrusive into the user experience, so it drives slightly less engagement. You can define that and push that to the home feed or the mobile feed only. You can also create ads just for mobile, just for desktop, if you really want to get very granular in your ad campaign setup. So moving on to Twitter, the basic ad types Twitter offers are promoted accounts, which if you use Twitter, you've seen they hang out over there on the left side of the screen. The promoted tweet, which comes up in your Twitter feed. It's fairly innocuous. which drives high engagement because it's not incredibly clear that it is an advertisement. This is definitely a trend that we're seeing in online advertising. And the promoted trend, these are not self-serve. You can't create them on your own. You have to contact Twitter ad sales, and they also cost $200,000 a day. So, if you're in the market to spend that, well, you have a very easy opportunity to reach several million people for 24 hours. Now, Twitter has, recently made advertising available to everyone, but more specifically, they've introduced the ability to hyper-target with keywords. This launched in April. You're able to, find users by things that they're talking about in their own tweets. So if somebody mentions coffee, you're able to target them with that and push an ad. But you can get, much more specific. So you can say only black coffee. So if you're, maybe somebody, you're a brand that makes, very strong coffee, or you want to reach, the purest of coffee drinkers, you can target, based on that. Or if you happen to be, a specific coffee shop, you can then target them by keyword and location. So, being able to do that creates, a very interesting opportunity for, both online-only businesses, but also brick-and-mortar businesses, because you're delivering very personalized content to people who are actually interested in, your service by way of them, expressing it. So here's an example we use of, a Twitter user saying, she's thinking about getting LASIK, but she's, nervous about it. So being able to identify that LASIK and then also a negative keyword, we can promote a post that, introduces her to some myths about LASIK, that it might be dangerous, and obviously build some brand authority, and based on her location, convert that into, a client for this company. So how does it work? You're able to look into users' timelines. You can enter several keywords or phrases. Twitter will tell you what the audience size for that is, and then if you want to, get more granular in your targeting, you can go down into locations, either by country, state, city. You can also, drill down to maybe, if you have an iPhone app, there's no real reason to reach Android users, so you can, target that to iPhone only, Android only, smartphone, desktop, anything like that. And then, indicated gender, very, the other traditional methods of targeting. Advertising with Twitter also unlocks some great analytics tools. Up until recently, you would have had to use a third party to, like Sprout Social or Hootsuite, to get kind of, tracking and analytics based on your account. So Twitter now provides this. You can see a timeline of, 30 days, how many mentions you're getting, how many follows, and then more importantly, how many unfollows, and then, a basic analysis of your actual tweet performance. So you can see if something's been favorited by a lot of people, if things have been retweeted, how much engagement you're generating based on replies. And, for top performing tweets, you'll see things that have, 4x normal reach, 3x normal reach. So you can see the kind of things that perform best with your audience. It also allows something, that's very cool, called domain tracking. So when you register your website with Twitter and verify it with a piece of code, you can now see all of the tweets containing links to your website posted on all of Twitter. So, just doing an ad search, you might not see people that are talking about you. They might not be engaging directly, but they're posting links to your site. They're driving traffic to your site, so it gives you an opportunity to identify who those people are, and then, start building a relationship, see if you could build, brand influencers, brand ambassadors, or if it's a negative experience, you're able to identify a problem and, work towards making that negative experience into a positive experience with the brand. So it's excellent for online reputation management. It also gives you follower insights, which are, very cool. You get to see a drill down here of what your audience looks like based on gender, location, general interests, and then also unique interests. And then, a good way to identify maybe people that you should be following and interacting with is the area in the bottom right there that lets you know who else your followers follow generally. But you're also able to drill down even further by clicking on any interest category and then getting a breakdown inside of that. So you can see, people who are interested in adventure travel are now more interested in things like luxury travel. You see exactly how many people, roughly how many people are that follow you are interested in this. So you can build out your strategy in terms of what content you're pushing to Twitter much more effectively that way. Now, just one thing that I'd like to bring up about LinkedIn before we get to the Q&A session here is LinkedIn offers traditional advertising where you can promote your LinkedIn company page, where you can create ads that drive traffic to your website. Maybe you have a white paper campaign, you want to send people to a specific landing page and try to drive conversions that way, much like traditional display advertising. But LinkedIn also offers lead generation advertising, which when activated, if you're sending people outside of the LinkedIn network, a piece of script will follow them around, and they're able to one-click opt in to your mailing list, so you're able to market to them immediately without having to fill out a form or go through any sort of other conversion funnels. LinkedIn provides that to you, so without needing to build out any kind of complex marketing there, you have a very good opportunity to target people and then build your mailing list. So that's our basic overview of social advertising, and now I'd like to open it up to Q&A. Okay, so the first question is, are there different keyword match types in Twitter advertising? Yes. You can, set up any associations that that you would like. You can go with, multiple keywords. Obviously, you can use multiple strings. You can use and ors. So yeah, all of that kind of detailed keyword matching is available. The next question is, how much of Twitter's traffic comes via mobile versus desktop? I don't believe they've published that recently. There might be statistics out there. I don't have them at the top of my head right now, though. So, next question: now that Twitter has its own analytics, do you recommend using the native site over other software like Hootsuite? I think Twitter's analytics probably offer the most rich insights into the Twitter account, particularly in comparison with the paid services that I'm experienced with. I would definitely say that this is an opportunity to save money. If you're interested in analytics, obviously things like Hootsuite and Sprout Social give you the ability to schedule posting, which is still very effective on Twitter. We don't recommend scheduling posting for Facebook. Facebook has identified when posts are being fed to it through third-party services and has decided to not give as much authority for those posts. But yeah, if you're interested in scheduling for any sort of Twitter stuff, definitely still keep in mind about those third-party tools. If all you care about is analytics, then I think I think that you would be more than satisfied with Twitter's built-in tools there. Okay, somebody asked if mobile ad units are different than desktop ad units. Obviously, how the ad is generated and displayed will differ slightly just because of screen real estate. In terms of cost, it's a cost per click or cost per engagement basis, so they don't break down like that. There's no higher cost for mobile engagement than there is for desktop. If you're setting up multiple campaigns and you really want to define and see whether or not desktop or mobile is performing better, then you can create matching similar ads and define one ad set to only be displayed on mobile, one ad set to only be displayed on desktop. But from a creation standpoint and the imagery that you're using, there's not multiple uploads for each. You're just uploading one image, or if you're promoting your account. On Twitter, obviously, the thing that's being promoted is your name and your avatar, and then, with Facebook, your cover photo and profile picture will then be rendered, slightly differently on mobile than desktop, but there's no changes that you need to make. Okay, so somebody asked what are recommended spends for Facebook ads. That's a great question. It depends on what your goal is. In terms of if you want to build your audience and you just generate new likes for your page, a like is generally going to cost you, just in terms of immediate audience building, about 80 cents to $1 a like. So if you have a monthly budget of say $1,000, you can split that up into a daily spend. You can also set time limits to I want this campaign to run from June 1st to June 30th. This is the total campaign budget available, and then Facebook will just run those ads until it eats that up, and that could happen in a day, it could happen in a week, it could happen in a month. So I mean, the daily spend is really what fits into your budget. Facebook gets enough traffic and has enough users that they'll be able to serve as many ads as you can afford. So it really comes down to what works with your marketing budget. There's no recommended amount, just because there's no limit in terms of ad exposure that you can get. Okay, somebody asked a specific question about what ads are best for an ebook to consumers. I mean, depending on your brand's footprint, I would recommend a couple of different ideas here. First, you would probably want to, if you have an existing Facebook audience, and this goes for kind of any specific online product giveaway, white papers, ebooks, new products launched to an existing audience. Something to look into, first of all, is to create a promoted post about the ebook or product, and then promote that post to originally just people who like your page, and then you might want to spread out to people who are friends with people who like your page, and get a little more granular and make sure that they're also fit into your audience categories. So it would be, friends of people who like your page, who are also interested in, say, it's about accounting, so you do, accounting, money management, have, a college degree, things like that. And then after that, depending on the data you have on your audience, doing a general promotion of that post to, the Facebook audience as a whole would be the next step. And then obviously you want to, use as many targeting features as possible to make sure that the right people are seeing that. But for Facebook, I would definitely use a promoted post. It's the most engaging. It allows you to add an image with text, so it's it's big and vibrant in the news feed. Obviously, if it's B2B, LinkedIn offers great targeting that we went over, and that would be a good place to start there. They only offer one type, but in terms of the best, I would definitely say a Facebook promoted post is the most engaging and will probably drive the most traffic. Okay, somebody asked what's more effective for lead gen, LinkedIn or Facebook? Just in terms of audience size, you're going to see probably more traffic come from Facebook than LinkedIn ads. LinkedIn can serve almost an unlimited number of ads, but their daily page views are significantly lower than Facebook, so you're going to get much less traffic. You're not going to be spending as much. Their engagement rates are quite a bit lower than Facebook's in both reporting and in our experience with clients here. So it depends on your targeting, I suppose, and your offer. But you'll definitely drive more traffic with Facebook than LinkedIn. Okay, if you're looking for instructions on how to use Power Editor, Facebook has that in their help section. So you could just Google how to use Facebook Power Editor. A result will come up there, or if you're on Facebook and have graph search, you can just search it directly there. Okay, one of our, somebody asked about a successful B2B social campaign that we ran. We have a payment services client that we put together a white paper for. We created a Facebook tab that collected data, kind of a landing page there, and then we were able to promote that application on Facebook out to an audience to drive white paper downloads. We saw several hundred downloads there. We also used LinkedIn to target people who were financial decision makers in a specific audience or specific verticals that our client was targeting, which happened to be third-party lenders. So like auto lenders, things like that that aren't direct from the manufacturer. And we saw about 150 downloads there. So I mean that was in terms of B2B social, that would rank up there as probably one of our more successful in terms of lead generation and conversion into new clients for our client. Okay, so somebody asked about Instagram, which is great. That's obviously a very big network. They're well over 150 million users now. I think they might actually have just announced that they're over 200 million users. And they asked if there's any research or analytics to support using Instagram to build your audience or to drive traffic to a website. It's incredibly difficult to drive traffic with Instagram. There's just no way to really, you can't embed links within comments, which obviously makes pushing traffic there quite difficult. There's no, nothing's clickable. It's, a liking platform. Yeah, I don't know of any use cases where Instagram drove direct traffic. It's certainly, a way to increase brand affinity. So if you have, very visual content and, are familiar with using the hashtags on Instagram to identify an audience and kind of, help with visibility. People do search hashtags on Instagram all the time to look at, pictures of clouds or whatever. But it's certainly a way to, you can build an audience on Instagram and generate great brand affinity that could, obviously have a positive long-term result. But in terms of, driving, kind of direct traffic or things like that, it's not particularly powerful there. Okay, somebody asked if there's any other uses for LinkedIn. Absolutely. You can create a company page and profile on there, and very similar to a Facebook page, post links to your website or general comments. It also offers LinkedIn groups, which as an individual you can join and engage with other people within those communities. So it's basically like almost sub-social networks within the LinkedIn network of other people who are interested in maybe payments or finance, marketing, and you can engage directly with people there, post links, kind of build reputation. It's very similar. It's kind of a blend of Facebook and Twitter. One thing to note though is that you can only do it from your personal LinkedIn account, so you'll be acting as yourself. Okay, and so that'll do it for us today. Please, if you have any additional questions, you can email me. It's I'll put it on the screen here. jdonardo@Blue Fountain Media. Or you can call me. My number is 212-260-1978. And definitely make sure to check out the Blue Fountain Media blog. It's called the ROI Factor. It's at bluefountainmedia.com/blog. And thanks a lot for joining. I hope everybody learned something. And definitely, if you have any more questions, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.